What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Recently I posted in my Instagram. By the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, please do so. I post quite often on there. And anyway, I posted a picture of these coffees here. And I wanted to review these for you guys. I wanted to talk about them. Matador Coffee. Okay, how did I discover this? So recently we were in Sedona, Arizona. We stayed for a few days, and from Sedona we went to Horseshoe Bend, we went to the Grand Canyon, we went to Meteor Crater, and I have videos on all those places on my channel, so check them out if you want to see that. But when you, I mean, I'm sure maybe there's other ways of getting to these places, but when you stay in Sedona and you use the GPS and you go to these places, you're gonna go right through Flagstaff. And Flagstaff, it's a town. It's kind of like in the middle between Sedona and all these places. So you end up traveling through there. And we had breakfast, or we had coffee in Flagstaff a couple of times. So one of the times we went to Matador Coffee Roasters. It's right off of Route 66, right in Flagstaff. We really liked it. We thought Matador was awesome. We had a great experience there. Their coffee was great. I had a cappuccino there that was awesome, really good. And when we were there, we saw the bags of coffee. You know, I didn't know if I wanted to buy it right then and there, but I didn't want to have to bring them back in the plane to Miami because we didn't have anywhere to put them, like a couple of big bags of coffee. So when I got back, I said, well, you know what, I'll probably just order them online. So when I got back, I ordered the coffee online because I was really curious about this coffee. I was really curious about this, man. This coffee here, it says it's aged in whiskey barrels. Okay, they aged the coffee in whiskey barrels. And I thought, you know what, probably picks up a little bit of that flavor from the whiskey barrels, and maybe it's really interesting. I really wanted to try it, so I ordered it online, and I've been brewing this. I've already had it like maybe 4 or 5 times. I've made it as drip coffee right here, just as drip coffee in the morning, but I also tried it as iced coffee. And both times it was great. You know, I was really blown away because I wasn't expecting there to be a lot of flavor. Okay, let's face it, I thought it would be like gimmicky, like maybe you might get a little hint of something. But I was really amazed. It really does have, you can really taste it. I thought it was awesome. Okay, so the very first time that I made it, okay, I made just regular drip coffee, and I started drinking it right away, and the flavor was very subtle. Okay, it was very subtle. You could kind of get a hint of something, but that's what I was expecting. I expected it to be like that. So I started to sip on it, and I was watching the news and stuff, and as the coffee cooled, then it really came to life. I was like, wow, this thing is like crazy. It has a lot of flavor. It has a lot of that whiskey flavor infused in the coffee. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. If you guys are in the area of Flagstaff, if somebody watches this video, I'm gonna obviously tag it with the name of the town on the video, so maybe somebody will see it. But man, try this stuff, it's great. Okay, so one thing about it, like I said, is that you might want to let it cool for a little bit. Don't drink it like super hot. If you drink it super hot, it's still great coffee, but you won't get a lot of the flavor. You'll just get the coffee flavor. It's very nice coffee flavor, by the way. But if you really want to feel that that whiskey taste in the coffee, let it cool a bit. Let it cool a bit, and you're gonna be surprised. It's really awesome. It's really good. So I'm really amazed with this. I really liked it. The coffee shop itself, Matador Coffee Roaster in Flagstaff, Arizona, it was awesome. The lady that made our drinks did a great job. My cappuccino was on point. My wife had a latte. We had some bagels. Everything was great. The food was great, and the drinks were spectacular. So also, if you never driven on Route 66, maybe I'll still make a little video. I have a few clips that I can put a video together in Flagstaff itself. Maybe I'll still do that. We went to another coffee place called Macy's, and I think Macy's has been around like even longer, and it's very well known there. But you know what? The drinks themselves, the coffee at Matador, I think was a step above. To me, it was excellent. It was just special. It was very good. So today I'm gonna brew for you guys. I'm gonna make an espresso. The espresso is this one here. They call it their Italian espresso blend. So I'm gonna try this roast. I'm gonna make you guys a afternoon brew, and let's check it out. All right, so I set up the camera here on the counter so you guys could see a little bit of what I'm doing, but I've showed you guys before my whole coffee routine and how I go about this whole thing. I have a video tutorial on how to use this machine here on my channel if you guys want to check that out. But I brought the camera a little bit closer so that you guys could kind of see what it is I'm doing. Today we're going to grind at 14. I have set the machine for 14. The grinder at 14, and we're gonna do the classic for this machine, which is 18 grams. So we are brewing 18 grams of ground coffee at setting 14. Hopefully we'll get a brew in about 30 seconds, 25 to 30 seconds, and that should give us a nice shot. Obviously a double like we always do it, and then we'll make a cappuccino. So let's do it. Okay, like I've told you guys before, I keep the grinder empty. I weigh the beans before I grind them, so pretty much whatever you put in is whatever you get out, and that's how I keep constant on how much coffee I'm putting in the portafilter. Okay, there we go, 18 grams. Okay, I'm gonna heat up the cup like I showed you guys before. Sometimes I'll put them up here and I'll wait long enough, but a lot of times I'll just fill it with water, put it in the microwave for about a minute and a half. Then I take the water out, the cup will be nice and hot, and that's how I keep my shot hot while I steam the milk. Oh man, that Matador espresso. You know, grinding your own coffee, part of the whole experience is the smell of it. It just smells great, makes the whole kitchen smell good. It's awesome in the morning, you grind your own beans, and it's part of the experience. Okay, so we have our 18 grams. My cup is nice and hot. Showed you guys how I kind of push the coffee a little bit into here so I don't make a mess when I lift this. I don't really use this to tamp. I use this tool to tamp. I explained how to use that on the same video where I show how to use this machine. Basically, it's a distribution tool on one side and a tamp on the other side. That's it, nice and easy. lock it in. Showed you guys before how I use this just to lift the cup higher so it doesn't make a mess. Okay, so the machine has a cycle. It goes through pre-infusion. It kind of puts water into the grounds, but at low pressure. Then it applies full pressure and you start getting your brew. Okay, so I tasted the espresso and it came out nice. It took long, a little bit too long. I'm gonna try brewing again at setting 16, and that should bring my brew time, speed up my brew time a little bit, and maybe it'll be perfect. But I tasted it and I was expecting it to be like over extracted and a bit bitter, but man, a little burnt tasting, but it's not. It's actually pretty good. I'm still gonna make a drink with it. Yeah, it's not bad at all. I'm surprised. It took like about 35 seconds to brew. So anyway, I got 4 ounces of milk here. If you guys could see on this little steaming pitcher that comes with the Breville Infuser, if you fill with milk all the way to the end of the spout there, where the spout starts over here, that will give you 4 ounces of milk. I've actually measured that before. It's 4 ounces. So I got 4 ounces of milk and 2 ounces of coffee, espresso, and we're gonna make a cappuccino. I put the sugar into the milk before making my drink because I don't want to mess with it once it's already done. I want it to be done. I don't want to stir it or anything. I usually use 1.5 teaspoons of sugar, and for me that's sweet enough. Also, another thing is that when you're making espresso drinks like this and you want to try to make latte art, I'm learning. Let me clear that up. I'm learning. Usually I don't get anything, but sometimes I do. And you want the milk to have some fat in it. So this is 2%. I don't use skim milk, although I usually drink skim milk. This one is 2%. So for making these espresso drinks, I use 2% milk, so that little bit of fat helps to create the right kind of micro foam in the milk, so that you can try making the latte art. My cup is I already heated up in the microwave, so it's still really hot and it's keeping my coffee warm while I get my milk ready. I always start steaming into a cup because I don't want the little bit of water that comes out to get in the milk. Okay, that sound that you're hearing, that's kind of like what you want as you're steaming the milk. That sound right there, that's adding the air into the milk and creating the microfoam. The milk is gonna grow in the little pitcher, and it's gonna go almost all the way to the top. So once you have incorporated enough air and the milk has increased in volume, then you wanna just stop and just wait until it gets hot. You'll feel it, the pitcher's gonna become like too hot to touch, and that means, you know, it's hot enough. Okay, so we're right there. Always clean the steaming one. Okay. You see the texture of the milk? Wow, we got way too much foam to make latte art. A cappuccino, you always want it with a nice layer of foam. If you're making a flat white, then you put less foam. But this time we got a little bit much, so, but it should taste great. Okay, so here's our drink. Let's give you guys a taste test. Oh man. When you learn how to make these things, you're not gonna want to go to a coffee shop anymore. It's just awesome. When you make it yourself, first of all, you can do it your way, you know. But it is better. It's just great, and you get to try all these coffees. You order coffee from different places, and it's a hobby. Oh my goodness, it's awesome. I'll make another one in a second. Okay, so I put the portafilter back on the machine just so that it could get nice and hot. You always want to have this at least warm when you're getting ready to make your shot. Again, I warmed up my cup in the microwave, and we're getting ready to make another one. Obviously, you always want to turn on the machine, at least give it 10-15 minutes to warm up so everything could get nice and hot before you start brewing. So Matador Coffee, man, what a great find. I'm really happy with this coffee so far. I told you guys about this one. I don't know if you want to try making espresso with it, but I've been drinking it as drip coffee and iced coffee, and both ways it's really good. If you want to really feel the flavor, let it cool down a bit like I told you guys before. But I'm amazed with the espresso too. Very good, awesome. Okay, we're gonna weigh it out. We're going with 18 grams again. Okay, 18 grams, but this time we're grinding at setting 16. We want to get it a little bit coarser so that we could get our brew hopefully within the 25-30 second window. So this is basically how it goes. Whenever you get a new coffee, you're gonna have to dial it in. You're gonna have to play with the settings, how much coffee, what grind setting you're gonna use, and adjust the different parameters until you get your brew at the right time. Okay, so everything's nice and hot. Okay, so we're ready for our second brew. Let's see. It looks very pretty coming out, but it's still too coarse. Okay, so on this part here, I said that the coffee was too coarse, and that's why it was taking long to brew. In fact, the coffee was too fine, and that's why it was taking long to brew. If you want to speed up your shot, what you need to do is grind the coffee coarser. It's gonna take a little bit too long. Next time I'll try either going to 17 grams or maybe grinding a little more coarse, maybe at 18. And maybe we'll get the right amount of time. But the first shot was great. On flavor, the first shot was great. This one will be a little bit better still because obviously it brewed a little bit faster. And we're getting there. You just keep dialing it in until you have the right setting. Even as the coffee gets, it starts to age. Once you open that bag and you've been using it for maybe a week or 10 days, something like that. You're gonna have to make adjustments because as the coffee ages, it loses some of its oils, and most of the time I find myself grinding finer and finer as time goes. There's the shot. Let's give it a taste test. This coffee works better with a longer extraction time. I can almost guarantee you that if I get this in 25 seconds, it won't have as much flavor. It's very tasty like this, and this was probably about 35 seconds, something like that. A lot of coffees will taste like burnt and like it's just not great. But this one does pretty good with a little bit longer extraction time because this is awesome. All right, let's see if we can make something happen here. Okay, so again, we got way too much foam. I think maybe it's the milk. I've been using this 2%, and obviously it does make a lot more foam, and it holds very well. It lasts like a long time. But what happens is when you first start to pour the latte art, if a bunch of foam comes out and lands it's gonna stay on top. A lot of it is gonna stay on top. So then it makes it almost impossible to do anything with it, right? You want a little bit of foam to come out to kind of build like a first layer and drop it from up high so that it sinks down. And then after that, you want the next little bit of foam to come out so that you can start creating your latte art. But when a whole bunch comes out and lands on top like this, it's gonna make it almost impossible. But I'm sure it's gonna taste great. Yeah, man, this stuff is delicious. Anyway, Matador Coffee Roasters. Awesome. I'll order it again. It really is something special, and I have enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep dialing in the espresso until I'm getting it just the way I want. But it's very, very good, delicious. And maybe I'll try to record another clip next time I try to make some latte art and I get something so that you guys could see. Every now and then I do get something. Usually every weekend, but today, of course, I'm trying to record, so obviously I did a horrible job. But hey, thank you for watching the video. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that I've been at this for more than 20 minutes. This video's gone on for way too long. I'm gonna actually have to just cut it right here and do a part 2 to this video. I can't believe if you guys sat through me making coffee for 20 minutes. Please comment below if you were able to do that, man. I really appreciate it. All right, so I've been recording this video now for the last couple of weeks, playing around with this coffee, trying different settings. I finally have it all dialed in. I'm still using the 18 grams, which is what everyone recommends for this machine. And I'm grinding it now at setting 21. Setting 21 on the Breville Smart Grinder Pro. And I've been getting great results. Let me tell you first of all that from all the espresso roasts that I have tried up until now, this has been my favorite one. Reason being that it's not as punchy, as strong as some of the other ones I've tried. Maybe it's the method I'm using to brew it. I'm not sure. All I know is that this one, you can actually drink it, just add a little bit of sugar, or maybe even drink it just like that. And it actually, to me, it tastes great. This espresso, to me, has been the best one if you're not gonna put milk in it. Now, when you mix it with milk, you add sugar and things like that, then it's not gonna matter that much. You know, from one to another, they should all be pretty good. Once you dial everything in. Okay, so now this espresso definitely likes to be brewed a little bit longer. I'm getting the best results when I'm around 30 seconds, which is a little bit long for most of the ones I've tried. So on this one, I suggest going with like a 30-second brew time to maybe even 35 seconds. Try it. So I'm getting great results. Now, part of what happened in the beginning of this video was that I had switched to 2% milk. And with the 2% milk, I had to get used to using the 2% milk because it was just the machine was creating just way too much foam for making a cappuccino and trying to make the latte art. Now I got that all taken care of, and you guys are gonna see in part 2 of this video that I actually get it right. So anyway, this video has gone on for way too long. I'm gonna have to have a part 2 to this video. In part 2, you're gonna actually see me brew the drip coffee, the one that is aged in the whiskey barrels. And by the way, the espresso roast is not that, okay? The espresso roast is not aged in the whiskey barrels. It does not have that whiskey flavor. Only the other coffee, the one that I've been making for drip coffee and for iced coffee, that is the coffee that is aged in the whiskey barrels, and it's the one that has that flavor. So I suggest getting both, trying them just like I did. It was a great experience. I'm definitely gonna order again from Matador, and we'll continue the story on the next video, part 2 of this. I can't believe I'm actually gonna make a part 2 to this video, but anyway, some of the people have actually been enjoying this whole coffee thing. And if you guys are enjoying it, you know, I enjoy making it, so why not? So I'll see you guys on the next one. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys next week.